Jard is sponsored by 5thegamer, so for all of your headset needs, go to 5thegamer.com and use discount code JARD20 at checkout to receive 10% off your next order. Jard is also partnered with XTiffy, so for all of your GTA resources, go check out xtiffy.com. That's XTIFFI.com. We do have our own website complete with a full episode catalog, merch, and more information about each of our cast members, so you can find that at jardpodcast.com. We are also on Patreon, so to become a patron, go to patreon.com/jardpodcast.
You. All right, yeah, I'm in. You.
That was epic.
That was so good.
Ryan's mad at me.
He's pouting.
Ryan, are you gonna cry?
You had that, all that build up. Had me on the edge of my seat, Dougie looking confused. Don't think Amber really knew what the was going on.
I had an idea.
Sake. Was that the whole
awesome.
Was that the whole skit? There was nothing else added on to that? Because you've still got me nervous now.
No, that was it.
Right. Thank you.
What have you got a guilty
Do you want
conscience
there to be
about,
more?
Ryan?
Right?
Why did you throw me under the bus there, Dougie?
With the group?
Why did you throw me under the bus? Why'd you do that? I haven't done anything. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jard.
Hi.
Hey.
We just tricked Ryan into thinking that we brought him here for an intervention.
Yeah.
And he fell for it.
I thought that's what all the commotion is at the beginning. Me just go, F you. I thought there was something big going on, like I'd done something, and next thing you know, Jess was just like, all right, record. What?
So Hollywood, if you're looking for your next big actress, look no further. I got what you need.
Baby, you. I won't.
Don't.
I'll just stop.
Amber, we need to have an intervention. Ryan's like, at least it's not me.
The attention's gone off me now.
Gotta stop singing at random, Amber. No one gets it, ever.
No, I didn't get the song you sung last week either.
We don't expect you to ever get anything pop culture.
You know
ever,
what?
so.
Real.
You guys have fun. You guys have fun. Yeah, I'll catch you later.
My God.
So how is everybody?
Yeah.
I'm groovy, baby.
Fantastic.
I had a terrible dream earlier this week. I literally woke up about to cry. I had a dream that I had triplets.
Whoa.
But it was like I somehow did not know I was pregnant.
You know, I never understood.
Does that make sense?
Did you ever watch that show, I Didn't Know
Yes.
I Was Pregnant? I never understood
Yes.
those bitches.
Yeah, I never got that
Me
either.
either.
So I never watched them, but seeing the trailers and like, I don't know, I think like, huh?
How
I-
did you not
It was
know?
terrible.
Makes no sense.
I knew I was pregnant.
I know there are
Really?
like a lot of factors where it's like, you know, people have like irregular cycles and there's birth control that messes up your stuff and yada yada yada, but still, come on, what? How does that happen?
Maybe
Yeah.
because I just had like, I love my son. The pregnancy from hell. But I threw up every day after almost every meal.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then we were in this awkward situation because Charles was there too, obviously. So he's like, we're just like, what are we supposed to do with this?
With this holding through.
What do we do here? Like, what do we do? What the do we do? And the whole dream, I remember thinking, now both sets of my parents are going to be like, we told you you'd change your mind.
Fuck's sake.
It was terrible. Literally a night terror.
My cousin has
But-
twins, and they're just now in like the walking and running phase. It's cool when there's one. It's challenging when there's two. I imagine I would want to put a bullet in my head if it were three at once.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of kids at the same age doing the same reckless thing at the same time. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
me and my two sisters were all born 3 years in a row.
Oh!
Oh.
And my second eldest sister and I are the same age for a week.
Wow.
your mom was kind of freaky.
You own it. She said, shoot this kid out, shove another one right back in me, Daddy.
Ew. Ew.
Sometime it be like that
Anyway.
with people.
I think that was more my dad than my mum.
Moving past Amber's comment. As much of a nightmare as it was, I woke up, obviously upset, but then I remember for the longest time, when it comes to dream interpretation, I've always heard, and it's always been true with me too, when you have a dream that a baby is born, it doesn't matter, someone yourself, whatever, it could indicate that in your real life, someone will die. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. If someone dies in a dream, then someone in real life is probably about to find out they're pregnant or have a baby. Mm-hmm. And that's always been true. For me personally, I remember one of the most vivid times that happened was that I dreamed that I had a baby, and then 3 days later, my granddad died. And so now I'm like, I had a dream I had triplets. Does that mean that 3 people are going to die? That I know? Like, what does this mean?
It's going to be me, you, and Hannah later.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, that's
listeners,
probably going to come back and bite me in the ass.
directly after this episode, me and Amber and our friend Hannah and our husbands are going ghost hunting for Amber's last episode, so this might be the last time you ever hear from me and Amber.
I'm going to have my ID in my pocket, just in case they need to identify my remains that way.
With those titties, they don't need your ID, Amber.
Yeah, I can easily identify.
Those titties are your TID.
Have her on the stretcher in the morgue. Person comes in and identified. Don't even have to pull the sheet back. Yeah, that's Amber.
Yeah,
Big lump.
that's
They'd be like, I know bodies bloat post-mortem, but have you guys seen these titties?
Oh my god.
We're getting kind of dark here, guys.
We are getting kind of dark.
Dark and
So
horny,
I'll
they
go
do
ahead and
not
let
go
Ryan-
together. They
Yeah, death and
don't.
horny don't go together. No.
For some
Usually that's
people
called
it do.
necrophilia.
Yeah, well, some other, yeah.
There are just some things that we aren't going to endorse. Is all we're saying.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, anyway. I had a dream during the week as well that I hated this one. I think I've had it 2 times in my lifetime, and I hate them every time, that I'm losing my teeth. The worst, okay?
I feel like there's a meaning to that.
There is.
I feel like I've heard
there
about
is.
someone having...
And depending on how you lose the teeth in the dream is depending on... It depends on the meaning. Now, I forgot what my one was in particular, but basically, you can either have one where just one falls out every now and again, or they turn to dust, or they're very brittle, so all I have to do is rub them against each other. And mine literally just crumbled within my mouth. And, I remember waking up, and I actually felt like my mouth was numb. It was horrible. Because I'm super sensitive about my teeth and mouth anyway, so that just really put me on edge. I think it was something to do with it was like I was anxious for some sort of public speaking or something like that. And it's like, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in a lockdown and I ain't got no public speaking to do. I'm good.
Okay.
When did you have that dream?
Huh?
I was just going to say, I just did a quick little Google. According to recent studies in dream interpretation, dreaming about losing your teeth is an indicator of anxiety and possibly depressive states. Ryan, is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Nothing I'm aware of.
Want to hit us up after
When
we
did you-
record?
When did you have that dream?
About a week or 2 ago?
I thought you said it was this week.
It might have been. All the days are blurring into one, so I'm really struggling to I'm generally struggling to keep up with time frames. But it was
I'm
but
just
it was
saying.
recent. It was recent, I know that much.
Was it before your big date?
Yeah.
It could have been that.
I didn't even go to medical school.
That would yeah.
Which I only have one reoccurring dream that scares the ever living out of me, and I've of course talked about it with my therapist. It's always that my house is on fire. It always starts, like, the fire, for whatever reason, always starts in my son's room, which, of course, is a really scary thing. And I probably wouldn't doubt one day him getting into playing with fire because he gets into everything else. So it's a legitimate fear of mine. But it's always a fire that starts at my son's room and just starts encompassing the whole house. I always come out of the fire fine. And it's everyone else around me that perishes, so I'm just by my lonesome. And I don't know if it has to deal with my PTSD or my certain panic disorder, but it feels so vivid. And that's when all of my panic attacks tend to happen the most, is after I'm waking up from this particular dream, because I swear to you, I can smell the smoke. So I wake up and I'm convinced that my house is on fire. And it takes a while for me to come down from, like, back to reality. And I can't really realize that I'm awake.
I can imagine that would take you a while. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Some of them get pretty wild. And when sleep paralysis comes into play, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I used to suffer from that a lot when I was a teenager, like younger teenager. I haven't had it since, but that is something else, that is.
Yeah, so dreams can be spooky.
Very spooky.
Well, it's kind of like I do have a little story about dreams, and then we'll just, I don't know, what if Dougie has something to contribute, and whatever, unless he doesn't,
really.
we'll move on.
I was commander of a spaceship fighting aliens.
Oh, cool, dope.
That's pretty over. I mean,
That was
was that last night?
I've never dealt with the sleep paralysis thing. That's never happened to me. But I have had night terrors since I was very young. I think probably it had something to do with a lot of my childhood trauma, because we're not going to talk about that, but there's a lot. But yeah, night terrors from the time I was at least 6 or 7 years old. Like, I wouldn't even really wake up. Like, sometimes I would just start screaming in my sleep. just screaming or crying without even being awake, and it would just scare the shit out of my mom. And I won't get into the whole thing with my ex. There's a whole thing, you guys know, but I'm not gonna. Yeah. But once we split, and then me and Charles moved in together, my ex started stalking me. That's how he even knew where to send the divorce papers, because he had stalked me. Like, physically, not, finding my address online. Like, he physically stalked me and drove past my house many, 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 many times. But it created this sense of, I guess, of terror in me for him to know where I lived and to have seen before what he was capable of. I couldn't put anything past him. So, in our old house, I used to have this recurring nightmare. It was always the same thing. I would dream that I was waking up in the middle of the night in our bedroom with Charles in bed next to me, and I would see a shadow in our bedroom door, like a dark silhouette. There weren't any features or anything like that. It was just black. It was just a silhouette standing in our bedroom door, but it was his shape, my ex.
Yikes.
And it just, like, every time. And sometimes it was just him standing there. Other times he had some sort of weapon and he would just stand there.
Yeah.
But this happened to me and we lived in that house for 6.5 years. And he started stalking me about 2 months after we moved in. So this whole time that we lived in that house, I had these dreams or these nightmares constantly, the same recurring nightmare, waking up in the middle of the night and he's standing in my bedroom door. And then finally, when we moved into this house, I'm probably speaking it into existence, but one of the first nights that we stayed here after we bought the house, I had this dream. I woke up in the middle of the night again, but we were in this house. So it was me and Charles in our new bedroom asleep. And I just remember I was dreaming that I woke up to Charles. He was like facing me and he was like, "Shh, he's here." And I was like I knew who he was talking. I wasn't like, who are you talking about? I knew who he was talking about. And he's like, "Don't say anything, he's here." And I'm like, oh shit. And so I get up and I see his shadow moving down the hallway towards our bedroom. And then Charles gets up out of bed and grabs, from under the bed, he grabbed like a hammer. I don't know why there was a hammer under our bed. It may have just been indicative of the random we had strewn about whenever we first moved in. I don't know. But he pulled a hammer out from under the bed. And he stood next to the bedroom door. And I watched as the shadow was moving down the hallway towards our bedroom. And right as it got to the bedroom door, Charles just cracked him in the head. And it was my ex, obviously. And at first, he doubled over, like he was taken off guard. And then when he stood back up, Charles cracked him in the head with the hammer again and killed him. And I have not had a nightmare about that since then.
Go Charles.
And it's been almost a year since we moved in.
Go Charles.
So I'm a little... Sometimes when it comes to dream interpretation, I can be reluctant to believe. I mean, I fully believe the birth-death thing, but a lot of the other stuff I am, hesitant to believe that a lot of it means something. But I've not had a nightmare about it since then, and I'm hoping that signified that with us getting the new house, it was the death of those nightmares. Hopefully. Because he didn't know where we live now. Knock on wood. Yeah.
Yikes.
There's my nightmare story. So, yeah.
I mean, I've had some dreams. I don't know. I can't remember the dreams themselves, but that like trying to shout or call out to someone or something like that, and it just...
You're like mute.
Nothing's...
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's just a croak sort of thing. Just, nothing there.
Yeah,
had that a few times, but I can't remember what I was dreaming about.
No, any night terror I've had, sleep paralysis has been involved, and like I wake up and I'm confused and I don't know what's going on, so I start, the crying and I'm in a panic attack. And the last one that happened, Alan could tell, like, as I was sleeping that something was wrong and that I was, you know, having a night terror. And, like, he was touching me, he was trying to gently wake me up and be sweet and let me know that, hey, you're just having a nightmare. It's okay. You can go back to sleep. I don't remember exactly what was happening in the dream, but he touched me and I felt danger. I immediately hit him. I did not mean to. I apologized profusely afterwards. I've never done that before. But it scared the shit out of me that I was just like, I couldn't discern from my dream for reality. So in my mind, I was being attacked and I was in danger. I was trying to fight back.
Yeah. No, I get that. Anytime I had my...
Charles kicked me in his sleep once.
That
Anytime I had...
he said he had a dream he was in a fight.
Decided to kick you. Anytime I had my sleep paralysis, like, nothing external was happening. Like, I wasn't having, like, a nightmare or a terror or anything like that. I just remember I would just wake up early hours in the morning, and I would be stiff as a board. And my eyes would be wide open. I'd be stiff as a board. And again... kind of like how you just said, I would try to like shout out and call it out, but again, nothing was happening. But I generally was awake. I remember specifically being awake because I was like, I can't move, and it is just. But what I wouldn't have minded if I was having some sort of nightmare or a dream to combat with it as well. But no, the fact that I was just laying there stiff as a board, like just like help. You know, that's what just made it even more terrifying, because the fact that just I didn't know if it was ever going to end, and it's just horrible. But I think the last one I had was, I mean, how old am I now? 25. Oh, bloody hell, I must have been, 10, 11, something like that. Yeah, freaky as.
Long story short, night terrors suck, sleep paralysis suck. Welcome to PTSD, everybody.
Sleep sucks.
Yup. So anyway, this episode is actually about dreams and nightmares. I'm just kidding. Ryan, go ahead.
I was going to say, what am I holding in my hand?
I love when we
You
confuse
told
him.
us. I do too. You told us yours was very short.
It
so.
is, well, relatively short, yes, and you'll soon discover as to why. But before I do, if you guys just want to just open up the Jarred group chat, I'm just going to send you my transcript real quick, just for what I've got in front of me. Don't worry, viewers, I will hold up my paper version so you can see as well if you're on YouTube. Spotify listeners, sorry, but you aren't going to get any visuals for that one.
What the f*** is that? Wingdings?
I wrote up all my notes, okay?
The
I wrote up all my notes, right, in English. I sent it to the printer, and this, viewers, for YouTube, is what printed off. Mandarin.
Okay, I was actually listening to a podcast just a couple of days ago, and they were talking about how to buy extra time on like a university assignment or paper, and the trick is that you just type out a bunch of random symbols using Wingdings or like one of those random like imagery fonts, and then send it in as your paper. Yep. And then when the professor says something, you're like, "Oh, really? The file must have been corrupted. Here, let me resend it." And then you have extra time. I feel like that's probably what you did here.
Well, no, here's the thing, because
you've been studying the wrong urban legend. You're like, guys, sorry, these are my notes. They actually are, but
yeah, no, I did.
Hold on.
A lot of my research, as you guys know, I spent so much time because I fully do believe in this one that I've actually committed my time to. So I'm very proud of the notes I have got. Ooh. But when I was doing some of my actual research, when looking into photo evidence of it, I was like, that's really compelling. Like, yeah, I'm going to use that. And then I checked the sources and the actual titles of everything, and half of the title was correct, and the last section was not, and I was actually looking into something other than what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, no, it was just interesting how my notes first printed off in Mandarin before the second attempt come through in English. So yeah.
That's just such a Ryan way to start everything off.
Yeah. In a completely different language, considering I can't even speak my own. So,
I was about to say I love you. I do not for a second believe that you can speak a second language.
No. Definitely not. What I do is just called my own one.
That's not a language.
It is in my mind. Okay, so my urban legend is, it's not exactly close to home or local, but it's local in the sense that I've touched on the same area in season 3. This urban legend is just an hour and a half drive away from Stonehenge, which I didn't discover until the end of my research here. So I thought, that's a nice little tidbit right there. I am going to be doing the Ghost of the Grey Lady of Longleat House. Now, those who live in the UK probably heard, like who are my age, have probably heard of Longleat from a TV show on the BBC years ago, as it is a massive safari park, and I have got more on that later on. But just a bit of brief history about Longleat House itself. It rates as one of the finest examples of Elizabethan architecture in Britain. The stately home sits proudly in more than 1,000 acres of parkland. Not only that, but the estate also includes 4,000 acres of farmland and 4,000 acres of forest land, making it one of the largest privately owned houses in the UK, most of which was landscaped by Lancelot Brown in the 1700s. So I'm going back, and I'm going back even further of that with some of these years as well. The estate was originally the site of, oh god, words that I don't like. The estate was originally the site of medieval Augustine prior until King Henry VIII fell out with the Roman Catholics and had the monasteries and priors and anything else that hinted of having monkish connections dissolved. God, why do I have to choose stuff with bloody long big words? During the Reformation, the Longleat estate was purchased by Sir John Tyne in 1541 for the princely sum of £53. Right, so consider all that land, right? £53 in 1541, which as of 2020, I worked out £53 is the equivalent of £46,000. However, as
Still
of 20,
pretty cheap.
It's still pretty cheap, but
That's because it's haunted.
But as of 2017, so just 3 years before, Longleat House was roughly estimated at £160 million. So the house is worth £160 million, but £53 is the equivalent of £46,000 today, which doesn't sound right. But according to my research in the calculators, apparently it is. So if somebody wants to correct me on that one, please do, because I spent ages just on that little bit alone. So there was 2 houses originally on the land. The first house was destroyed by a fire in 1567. The second house, which is still there today, remains largely unchanged to this day, was finished in 1580, shortly before Sir John Tyne's death, having taken 13 years to complete. The Tyne dynasty has been the sole ownership of Longleat House for 470 years. The current seat was occupied by Alexander Tyne, the 7th Marquess of Bath. However, Alexander Tyne, the 7th Marquess of Bath, unfortunately died in April 2020 after contracting COVID-19 and died in Royal United Hospital in Bath last year. Again, everywhere. Longleat...
It's now leaked its way into history books.
Yep, literally. Because this... Longleat House, for those of you who don't know, it is literally... Well, actually, it just goes into this next little bit here, right here, actually, so hang on. Longleat has become one of Britain's most visited attractions and its safari park, as it's a world first outside of Africa, when it opened in April 1966, and it effectively rewrote the book on how animals should be kept in captivity. Now, I've been, and it is absolutely amazing. I went when I was a teenager with my grandparents, and it is absolutely astonishing. As soon as you get there, the land is just so vast and massive. It's stunning. The house is pretty much smack bang in the centre, and you've just got all this wildlife, all these safari animals just everywhere. It is fantastic. So that's the history on the house anyway. So I'm going back years with this one. So, getting on to the Grey Lady. Why is she called the Grey Lady? Because she dresses in grey.
I'm going to assume it's because she's grey.
She dresses in grey. However, for anyone who wants to fact check me on this and say, no, you've got it wrong, she's called the Green Lady. Yes, there are two variants of this urban legend. Some people call her the Green Lady, some people call her the Grey Lady. Don't worry, guys. The origin stories are exactly the same.
Hold on.
If you're talking about Amber's shirt,
Thank you! I was about to say.
I didn't put two and two
understand her
together.
struggle.
I didn't put
This
two and
is
two
a
together.
green shirt.
It's a grey shirt.
It's green.
It's grey,
So,
Amber.
so people,
in her
people who
defense,
videoed it
in her,
see her as a grey lady. The people who have seen her in person see her as a
See her
green
as a
lady.
green lady.
There you go.
I was going to say, in her defense, in person, it is very, very dark green. But when I first saw, when she mentioned it earlier, I was like, that's not green. Like, when you just glance at it,
Yeah.
like, first glance, no, it does not look green. But it is green. And also, speaking of attire, Ryan, are you wearing jeans?
I am wearing jeans, yes.
Ooh.
Why?
That's weird.
Why?
I think this is
seeing you in jeans.
Yeah, I think
that's
this
all.
is the second time ever I've seen you in jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us a show.
Okay, Foxy ladies.
Well, I didn't think it was right to wear a shirt with tracky bottoms. I didn't think that was right, so I went for the jeans. Okay. So if anybody wants to complain saying I'm calling it the Grey Lady and it's actually the Green Lady, no. The origin stories and this story that I've got, they are literally identical. If you want to call it the Green Lady, just every time I say the word grey, change it to green for your own preference.
Yeah, you f***ing snowflakes.
Well, literally, I come across this article and
I hate that
everybody
word.
was complaining. Everybody was complaining of whether it should be grey or green, and it's like, just use your eyes and work out for yourself.
It's like the blue and black and white and gold dress.
Oh my god!
years ago.
Yeah, when that literally like that. Literally, that's what it is. Okay, so kind of got a little bit of a short story. A little bit of a short story as to how the origin has come around and where the story comes from. And then I've got a section on evidence and sightings as well. So I'm hoping I do this story some justice. But this is me that you're listening to, and it's me talking, so expect a lot of f***ups. Okay.
I would have read the short story for you.
Yeah. I just... There you go. So,
Before you start, can I ask a question about
for
it? Was the Grey Lady... Was there any correlation between this manor and the whole Haunting of Bly Manor show?
if you quote
Did I-
if you quote that little...
It was just... I just had to ask, because it was
Okay, I...
perfectly splendid.
I found no correlation between the two. However...
Look how happy Jess is with herself.
She looks so smug. I can feel it and I hate it. There's no.
I'm just...
Generally, I've not found any correlation between the two. However, obviously, the Grey Lady term is obviously like from the Haunting of Bly Manor. Is it the Grey Lady of the Lake? Is that what it, or is it Lady of the Lake?
I don't remember what she was called, but I just remember the lake girl.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Grey Lady of the Lake or just Lady of the Lake. But they're both manor houses, so I didn't find any correlation between the two.
What?
Amber just vanished.
We scared her off already. What the... If Amber would come back right now, it would be perfectly splendid.
Oh my god.
Look, I had to blow my nose. It was an emergency.
Just
I'm
do
over
what
here struggling to breathe.
Just do what I do, just play the trombone every time. Right. So, who is the Grey Lady? She is Lady Louisa Corrett, who married the second Viscount of Weymouth, Thomas Tyne. So that's the Tyne family who have owned it for 470 years. She married him in 1733. Now Thomas Tyne, allowed Lady Louisa to bring her own serving staff to Longleat Hall as part of their wedding arrangements. One of her entourage was a young footman, whose adoration to his lady seemed to go beyond of what was expected of his post. At least that's how it appeared to a few of Longleat's household staff. Lady Louisa described him as being a loyal and true servant. The other household staff grew jealous of what seemed to be favouritism by Lady Louisa towards this young man, and rumours and suspicions grew as to the likelihood of there being extramarital liaisons between the two. These rumours, however, were quite untrue, as it turned out, but in an act of jealousy and cruelty, the staff told Thomas that his wife was having an affair with the young footman. Thomas, well known for his quick temper, confronted the fellow at his earliest opportunity in a passageway outside the old library on the first floor beside the spiral staircase. It just also goes to note that the library that's there, just to put it into perspective of the size, hosts 40,000 books, and is also apparently haunted by, what was his name? Sir John Brooke, I think it is. But he's not the most infamous sighting there, anyway. So Thomas Stein confronted the footman by the spiral staircase. An altercation took place whereby Thomas accused the footman of indececrations towards his wife, which he flatly denied, and in a fit of rage, Thomas lost his temper and pushed the footman down the stairs, breaking his neck in the fall. You could kind of see that.
Okay, baby, real quick. Do you
Were you going for indiscretion?
Yeah.
That's the word. That's the one.
Oh my god! This man said indesecration.
Told you I was going to get something wrong along the way, didn't I?
Okay, so he pushes old dude falls and breaks his neck.
No. Thomas Stein, the old dude pushes the footman down the stairs.
Yeah, that's what whatever. Yes, okay.
The footman was the young one. The Thomas Stein was the old dude. So the footman's fallen and broke his neck. So Thomas, fearful of being implicated in his murder, quickly had the body buried of the footman in the cellar and made up a story for Lady Louisa that the footman had left without word. She, however, did not believe him, fully aware of his distrust for her servant. She suspected her husband had imprisoned the footman somewhere inside the enormous house. She spent many days and nights frantically searching every room. The rooms that were locked she demanded to be opened, and her search, however, proved fruitless, for she never found him. In one of her nightly searches in the bitter cold, she caught a chill, which developed into pneumonia. Lady Louisa, much weakened and distressed by her husband's deceit, succumbed to her illness during childbirth and died in 1736 at the age of 22. She had been married just for 3 years. After his wife's death, Thomas moved from Longleat to live in a village of Horningsham. I fucking love when I found that out.
Bonk.
There's a village in the UK.
Jard's moving there.
There's a village in the UK called Horningsham. I was so happy when I found that out.
Bonksville.
Bonksville.
You get it back.
There were those at the time who spoke of reasonings for his leaving, as he lived in mortal dread of encountering Lady Louisa as she walked the passageway after nightfall. That's the story of Lady Louisa's, how she's come around. So she was apparently having an affair with her footman, which was not true. Apparently she's both denied it and so did the footman. And there's more evidence as to the fact that this is that the origin of this is actually true due to further evidence, which I'll get into in a minute. Actually, let me get right into it now. Actually, yeah, 'cause it's the first one. So, how do people know that it's, how have people seen the Grey Lady? Well, shortly after her death, after giving birth to... And somebody did ask me as well when I was doing my research, it's like, well, hang on a minute, what about... Whose was the child? Obviously, is she given birth to the footman or to Thomas Stein? No, the child's was Thomas Stein because obviously back when the footman was killed, that was 3 years prior, so it couldn't have been his. So shortly after her death, reports from staff claimed they had seen Lady Louisa prowling the passageway where the incident has taken place by the spiral staircase, later to be called the Grey Lady's Walk, as they had seen her dressed in grey. Even today, she is heard banging on the doors in a desperate and endless search to locate the whereabouts of her footman. She was a beautiful woman in life, and it is said by those who claim to have seen her that she retains her beauty even in death. The Grey Lady is the most frequently seen of Longleat's ghosts. Even the late 7th Marquess of Bath claims he has seen her on occasions, as her portrait hangs in the lower dining room. And this portrait is incredible. It is huge. I mean, from floor to ceiling in Longleat Hall, it's 35 feet just in itself. So,
Ooh.
and this portrait covers majority of that. It is incredible.
That's goals, honestly.
For real.
Literally for real. It is awesome. So, evidence to back the footman's death up even further. Okay, because some people are like, oh no, it's just one of these old photos and whatever. Nah. Evidence to back up the death of the footman and subsequent ghost story are even further endorsed when central heating was being installed in 1903. It had been necessary to lower the floors in the cellar to accommodate the boiler and pipes. Whilst digging up the flagstone, builders discovered the skeletal remains of a male wearing what appeared to be the remains of jack boots and fragments of a uniform of a footman of that period. To avoid any scandal, the bones were collected and quietly buried in a local churchyard. Ironically, as it turned out, they were buried only a few feet away from where the second Viscount, Thomas Tyne, is buried. Karma is a bitch. You kill a guy and he gets buried 2 stones away from you. So that is the evidence as the story pretty much being true. They're finding the remains of the footman that he killed. And this goes, and I'm going to move on to the evidence of what I thought I had, photo proof of the Grey Lady. The photo I had was literally gold. It really was. Until I read it was an entirely different location. There have been multiple sightings of Grey Ladies at a lot of different manor homes and estates around the UK. There has been a lot. But yeah,
So she got like a Grey Lady posse?
Something like that. Something like that. So I can't show you because the other photo proof that did come forward of the Grey Lady at Longleat House, literally, I couldn't even see it. It made a magazine article. I tried looking through the photo. I couldn't make heads or tail of what I was looking at. So I wasn't going to show you on the basis of the fact that I wouldn't be able to point out what we're meant to be looking at. Because I honestly, I can tell you now, you guys wouldn't have seen it either. But obviously there has been a lot of encounters when people go, because it is a tourist attraction, people can go to Longleat House. You can host your weddings there, you can have dinner parties there, you can go out just for the tours. People have reported seeing, shadowy figures, things moving. People have reported seeing orbs. I do feel the need to point out as well that Longleat House do endorse the fact that they believe it's haunted, and they do host ghost tours in the evenings. Okay, they do play into it by one section of the house. They do have a display of sorts where somebody put a video up on YouTube going, I saw the Grey Lady of Longleat House, and it's literally a video of the display they put on. It's a hologram of a shadow walking down the stairs and then walking down the corridor. The sound effects are really cheesy, so you know it's not legit. So they do play into it, which kind of, in my mind, manipulates whoever's there into believing something that's not, because they've already got that spooky vibe going on. I already believe in the paranormal anyway, so I'm all down for this one straight off the bat. Regardless of whether people believe it is or not, I'm all there for it. But yeah, people have reported seeing a lot of orbs in there. And yeah, it has got other hauntings at the location as well. Like I said, there's the one who haunts the library. I can't remember his name exactly. And I think there was another report of a maid, I think, who wanders around the cellar area. But I may be misquoting on that one. But literally, I just put all my research into this because the Grey Lady is the most infamous one. I'll go ahead and state my sources as well now that I've got to the end. HauntedWiltshireBlogPost.com and HauntedDevon.co.uk as well. They're my only 2 sources, as I've got the story and the evidence from. So yeah, do with the rest of what you will. If anybody who's listening has been from the UK who have been to Longleat, and you have seen something, please let me know. I only went into the house briefly for the gift shop. I was a tiny kid. Okay, I went in that bit only. I haven't been since. I haven't been for anything else. But I would love to go now that I've read more into this, just to try and experience something myself. Because I'm just
do the night tour.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Anything to do with the paranormal, I'm all over it. I really am.
There's just something about those British paranormal those just hit different. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of spooky here, but
Right.
just something about, like, the British ones are just, like, they seem so much spookier. I think because there is so much media about things like I mentioned earlier with Bly Manor. There's so many shows and movies with that kind of premise about, some haunted manor wherever in
I think
Britain, and it's like they just
I think what helps with it as well, like going off the media aspect. I mean, what is it? The Woman in Black, I think it is. That's another, that's another great haunting one. I mean, the movie's kind of there, but the premise of it is good. It's an old, what's the word? Elizabethan architect style house, the Victorian clothing, the strong, creepy British accent as well. There's a lot that kind of play into it in that aspect. I think one thing we can own is...
Well, chronologically, I mean, it dates back further than our spooky stuff as well. I mean, we have the superstitions and stories from indigenous peoples, but really our time here didn't really start until, Mayflower came up. But, like, Britain, like, y'all been there for a long-ass time.
I mean, what year did I mention?
So it's like that stuff does... It can have a tendency to date back a little bit further, so it just kind of makes it a little bit spookier to me.
The first house of Longleat was destroyed by fire in 1567.
Yeah, that's just... I think of that period of time, like, between, like, the 1500s and 1700s, and it's just... creepy.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter what happens. Just that's creepy.
It is. It is. It was. I don't know if I'm correct in saying this, but it was kind of like, in some sense, I may be completely wrong in saying this, but in some sense, it is kind of like a Wild West version, just extremely posh. Like, nobody really. I mean, they upheld their reputation in a way, but also didn't really give a shit behind closed doors. Like, but I kind of feel like it was the same for everywhere, really, at the time. You couldn't get away with half of the stuff now, let's put it that way.
No. I would love... I mean, I cannot wait for you guys to come visit, because, like, I just think that we should do just not even... It doesn't even have to be cross-country, but just a general coastal tour of our spooky place.
Honestly,
this place is spooky as...
I was going to say the anniversary that me and Alan celebrated before my son was born, we went to Savannah, Georgia, and
that is the most haunted place in America.
Yeah, and
Period.
we did a haunted tour, and I mean, of course, it was very theatrical, for the tourists.
Yeah,
but I mean, honestly, the place itself, you do get a very spooky vibe, and when you're there hanging out at night, it's and I'm into that. I got married fairly closely to Halloween for a reason, so.
I mean, I don't remember why I was looking it up, but I at one point I was Googling the most haunted places in America, and Savannah it's literally number one.
Really?
Spoopy
in terms of cities.
Spoopy
I want to take these boys to Salem,
yes,
Massachusetts.
Yes.
There's a lot of spooky here in North Carolina alone, because, I mean, North Carolina, if I recall correctly, was one of the original of the 13 colonies, I believe. Mm-hmm. So North Carolina goes way back. Nice. There's the whole the Croatoan thing here.
Yep.
With the vanishing colony. There's a lot, it seems like,
say
on
that
the
name.
coast.
Say that again.
Croatoan?
Yes. Yeah. I have heard of that one.
The Roanoke colony.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's like a lot on the coast, and it seems like there's a lot in our mountain area. doesn't seem like there's a whole hell of a lot here in the middle. I mean, Fayetteville has some but it seems like our most spookiest areas are either the coast or the mountains. No in between. I mean, Blackbeard settled in North Carolina before he died.
Damn.
Like, one of the most notorious pirates ever. He ended up in Bath.
Wow.
And then I think, if I remember correctly, he was found and they executed him.
I can't
Very
remember what happened with
near
Blackbeard,
to
I can't
Bath.
I want to say yes.
Either he was executed or it's presumed that he died. I don't remember which.
I mean, as a pirate, you can imagine if he was found, he was going to be executed either way. If he was found.
Yeah. And then we've got... I would love to go back to Biltmore Estate.
I've never been.
That's our equivalent. You what?
I've never
That's
fucking
kinda
been.
like- that's North Carolina's equivalent of like a haunted British manor.
Nice.
I think it's one of the largest privately owned estates in the world.
Wow.
It's
It's
beautiful.
gargantuan mansion. It was built by the Vanderbilts, who back in the day they were in cahoots with Rockefellers, all the big, wealthy families. Yeah, and that place is haunted as
I think...
like.
I just had a thought. I think what helps but also doesn't help in British manor homes being supposedly haunted and creepy and whatever is the portraits that do hang around some of these manor homes.
Oh, yeah.
My God. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're exquisite pieces. I mean, the painters at the time must have had a lot of patience and whatever, and they are amazing. But you're walking around
They
one
creepy.
of the... Yeah, you're walking around one of these nighttime and you've got a little lantern and you turn and you've just got this face on a portrait right there. That is going to literally scare the out of you. So that doesn't help.
I'm telling you right now, I talk a big game about spooky but you will not catch me in one of those British manors ever.
Ever. Wow. Now, I would love to go to one for sure if I can get down to the Longleat one, or just have we got one near us? Supposedly the one that's literally just up the road from us, it's just on the way out of the village and it's just a 5-minute walk from me. Supposedly that's meant to be haunted, as well as UFO sightings, I must state. People have reported seeing a UFO literally over the top of the house. I might look into that actually. But anyway, yeah, I think it's become more of a stereotype as well for a lot of English manor homes to be like, oh, it's haunted. Like, it's just a thing. But like I said, I'm a slut for paranormal and ghosts anyway. I'm all over it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
The Others. Was that a British house?
Sorry. What
I
house?
believe so.
Which house, Jess?
That house in the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman, where it's like everyone's ghosts, but we don't know it till you probably didn't see it because you don't watch anything. But like she finds out at the end that everyone's dead and they're actually ghosts. So
And she finds out
I want to say that.
Let me have a look.
She finds out she's the
wanna
one
say
that kills her own children. It's wild.
Yeah, that's another one of those manor movies. I
think it's
seems
just any old, really old building, like centuries old building, people just
it's just
go,
creepy.
it's got to be haunted.
Yeah.
And the way they're portrayed as, being able to possess people, like even here with oh God, Amber, what's that? The Amityville house. Well, I mean, the movies were called the Amityville Horror, but the guy, he woke up in the middle of the night possessed by the house, so to speak, and he killed his entire family with a shotgun. I think it was one of the sons, wasn't it? And then, or was it the dad?
I can't.
Anyway, yeah,
remember.
killed the entire family,
Yeah.
so the house possessed him. So, do we think that houses can possess people? I kind of do.
I don't know if I believe that the house itself can. I think it's whatever is
spirit.
resting in the house.
Yeah. The others filming locations was Penhurst, Kent, England, UK. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one that when I was a kid, that's
Majority of the filming though was also done in Spain.
Huh.
Well, that's like, I'm pretty sure I just saw that Bly Manor was filmed in Washington.
Yeah, probably.
Like, our Washington.
Well, yeah, we don't have a Washington.
How am I supposed to know? I don't live
Well,
there.
to be fair, I was quite surprised to see a lot of the places just north of you. Like, a lot of the places up there are UK names, but that's obviously because we tried to colonize you guys anyway.
Original 13 colonies, baby. What is Amber? Amber, we know.
Amber, we know you.
No. I was trying to fix the thing. I was trying to do it all sly, but apparently not.
No, you really no. You literally just motorboated your tits.
And you can find more of that on our Patreon.
When the boys get here, we have got to take them to the coast. We've got to take them to Asheville. Asheville is...
Sorry, what the heck? I wonder
What?
We were just talking about motorboating Amber, and then you were like, "We have got to get the boys to do." I was like, "What? Whoa, what the?" Sorry, carry on.
Well, duh, that's going to happen. Hello, Jard.
That's how I'm going to say hello. Just come on in.
Where's my
suitcase?
Where's my?
Is Grandfather Mountain haunted?
I
Probably.
I
just
would
take them
believe
there.
it.
It's fine.
I honestly would believe it. The only reason why I say this, my last round with Grandfather Mountain, I had the most horrible time. I had anxiety attacks the entire way up the mountain because driving up the mountainside, it me up. It just me up. It's a spooky feeling in the Grandfather Mountain area, so no, I would not doubt if it had some spook.
Bitch. Okay. When I was 8, I think, 7 or 8, my family took a trip to Asheville. Okay, this was the trip of trips. This was the, absolute chaos of all family trips you could think of, okay? Because Eric Rudolph, the Olympic Park bomber, was loose in Asheville, in this same area that we had gotten a cabin in. Like, he was believed to be fleeing and hiding in the woods somewhere in that general area.
Yikes.
And on the same token, we're sitting there one night, as a family on our family mountain trip, watching TV. JFK Jr.'s plane is missing. It's just like all of this one time. Like, there's a bomber, there is a terrorist in the woods fleeing from the police, and JFK Jr.'s plane has disappeared out of the sky.
How have you never shared this story before?
Oh, and a bear came up to our cabin.
I mean, to be fair, you guys have alligators
Nice.
walking through your backyard, so that doesn't surprise me.
That's Florida.
No, we do not.
It's a stereotype from America. I'm just covering all areas.
Do not
Don't associate Florida with the rest of us.
Do not stereotype
I think that's a trigger.
America
I think I've just found that trigger.
based on Florida. Florida is not part of America. We are literally one incident away from sawing those off and sending them out into the Atlantic.
Okay.
That'd be like stereotyping all of Britain based on Ryan.
True.
You're not far off, actually. Actually, no.
I don't.
No. I'm thinking of some of our legends now. Yeah.
No,
But yeah.
Florida
We
is
have to
that
take the
wonky
boys.
little growth that we have that we just haven't cut off yet. We've just keep putting off. Every time we go to the doctor, we forget to mention it. That's what the Florida is.
Listen, my favorite Florida story is about the woman who got pulled over and arrested for driving erratically because she was shaving her coochie while she was driving down the road. And her reason was that she was on her way to a date. I was like, that would be me probably.
Sounds legit.
So you just said that would be you, but
Yeah,
yet I'm not
that's-
allowed to compare Florida to you?
No. You don't live here. You've not been to
I've been
Florida.
to Florida.
You have not experienced it. When?
Well, I went to Disneyland.
You've been to
I went
America?
to Disneyland, yeah.
Yeah, I went.
That doesn't count.
I
Disney World is...
stayed in Florida for 2
Disney
weeks.
World is precisely that. It's a world.
Yeah, no. But I've been to the States. I was there for 2 weeks.
Oh, and you didn't come see me and Amber. It's cool. It's fine.
I was
Anyway,
13.
So?
You should have known we were going to be friends.
I've known you for 3...
Right? This is what it's like arguing with women. Stop. Okay. So, America bucket list. We'll go to Asheville. We'll go to Bath. We'll go to Salem. What else is spooky, Amber? Savannah.
Do you have anything like haunted, like notorious in Australia, Dougie?
Right? I've been waiting. Dougie, chip in, bro. Come on. You guys are literally an island full of prisoners.
He can't lie offhand because he's not from Australia, because Australia isn't real.
Got somebody in his earpiece.
Well, we actually have Fremantle Prison is a haunted location, and they do tours there.
This man said prison,
That's
I immediately peeked.
That's like, what's that prison called in San Francisco?
Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, but this is right in the middle of the city.
Ooh.
Is it the original prison? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is? It's the OG?
Yeah.
What original prison? I'm confused. Catch me up.
Ryan, Australia itself is a prison island.
Is it?
Well, it's one of the oldest. Hang on, let me just quickly Google.
Australia started because British people, to get punished, would be sent to Australia for imprisonment.
Oh.
And then, the story goes, while they were there, they drank in such excess that their dialect and accent got diluted because they were drunk all the time. Which is why you guys kind of sound alike, but not exactly.
Okay, so...
How uneducated am I?
A lot.
I never knew that. Like, I heard this
Australia is literally a prison island.
I heard the stereotype that Australia was built on nothing but convicts and whatever, but I was like, what the f***? Like, no. But now... Oh.
Yeah, I mentioned... what was it, season 1 or season 2, where I had mentioned the little factoid that the dialects are the same but also different because the prisoners, they had nothing better to do here than drink excessively.
Okay,
so the accent got weird.
Fremantle Prison was built between 1852 and 1859.
I would love to go there.
Wow.
And... nearly 10,000 convicts passed through the establishment between 1850 and 1868.
And when was Australia established?
Well, it's about 1788. That was the East Coast. They first landed. Well, yeah. First 1786, but the main group was 1788.
So it wasn't even a thing for that long before they started sending prisoners here. Because you said 1850 something for the prison.
That was WA prison. The convicts were right from the day dot.
Oh.
So when they started settling the East Coast in the 1700s, those were prisoners too.
Yeah, there was
okay
colonists as well as prisoners.
Wow, imagine getting in trouble in your home country and they're like, well, we're shipping you off to this island. Thousands of miles away.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's literally the worst, deadliest creatures you can think of are there.
It's alright, because there's plenty of booze and plenty of sun, so you'll be alright.
I'll have to find that article I saw about the dialect, but I did think that was interesting. They just were drunk all the time, and it just eventually passed down. Generations.
So next time a British guy gets overly drunk, they're going to sound like an Australian. I'm going to try it.
So yeah, Fremantle Prison was decommissioned in 91.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, you said they offer
attraction.
tours. Okay.
Yeah.
You said they offer tours. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my God, I would love to go to that. I had no idea the OG prison was still there.
Built from
I
limestone.
did honestly.
So
Honestly, I didn't even know there was an actual building. I thought they were just sending prisoners there to just die.
no, they still had like
Here you
some of
go.
the
Just send them here.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, just good luck.
Figure it
like
out.
some
You're
of the
not our
early
problem
prisons
anymore.
were actually like the jail cells were in trees. They were the trees were that big. I think it's the Boab tree. Let me just check that.
These
I thought they were just sending British people here. Like, yeah, there's spiders the size of Buicks here. Good luck. Ryan, put your
Yep.
feet up. There you go.
Any mention of
I don't think I can visit Australia, Dougie. I'm
Spiders,
sorry.
bugs,
I
insects.
would
Yeah,
love.
y'all got some
Oh, come on.
man. Babe.
I would love to
It
go
is-
to that one area from that movie that Robin Wright Penn was in. What was it called? It was like so beautiful. I'd love to see that, but y'all wild.
Look, I just want to go down, eat some seafood, and then leave.
I'm trying to remember where this place was in this movie. It was just beautiful. Just beautiful. Yeah, there would not be even a hint of a huntsman spider in that area. I can't remember what it was called though.
God. Ugh. Why does that?
And you know, as Americans, we see huntsman spiders and we're like, "Ugh." And then Dougie's like, "Oh, it's fine. Just get a broom and just brush them out the house.
It's the size of Rex.
Let him eat your mice."
Think of a spider the size of Rex. That's goddamn terrifying.
Chihuahua?
At
Okay.
least.
I just sent a picture to the group chat. That's a Boab tree. And that's actually was a prison cell.
That's a cell.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh God.
What the were they? Keebler elves?
Jess, that is huge. It's not small.
But
That's,
like living in a tree, though.
I'm not saying it's small, but they're living in a tree, Dougie.
That is really impressive.
the diameter of that is 48 feet.
Whoa.
You know what though?
It's not about size. It's just about the conditions. Like living in a tree, you are a
They're
Keebler
not.
elf.
No, they weren't
Okay,
living in the
but
tree.
did you-
They just utilised it at the time as a prison cell. It was easy
Yeah.
to put bars on it because there's no other way out.
Yeah.
And keep him the in there. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
get it, but this is also kind of fulfilling my treehouse wishes. I never got a treehouse as a kid.
Well, now you can actually have a
I'm
tree
just kind
house.
of like it seems idyllic, but at the same time, it is Australia, so you do have to wonder what kind of creatures
Or inside of it.
would have gotten in there. Yeah.
Can we please stop talking about bugs?
Oh, all sorts. All of them.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to worry about that when you come to America. Our spiders are regular sized.
Oh, we have regular
They're
size as
normal
well.
sized.
They're the
Oh,
one-
I'm sure you do, but
they're
you
the ones
also
you've
have
got to worry
huntsman
about.
spiders.
The big ones are fine.
No.
I would not want to see
The big ones won't kill you. They
That's
might
a
hurt
singular
a little
statement.
bit, but they
No,
won't kill you.
period.
I'm
The
very
small ones will
I
kill
don't
you.
give a
I'm very
fuck.
uncomfortable.
If I can't kill it without there being some sort of sound of bones
Ah.
breaking,
Here's the thing.
it's a problem.
Here's the thing. I can't even kill it. I have to call Alan because if I hear or feel that crunch, I'm
Yes.
No, I'm throwing up. That's it.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna throw up.
It doesn't matter what kind of bug it is. I can't do it because of the crunch.
this
Because of the crunch. And then you see these big ass huntsman spiders, and it's like, what kind of sound must that
I'll
make?
crash by the
I
sounds
don't
of it.
want to know.
It's so big. It's so big. Does it scream?
It probably bounces back.
I mean, it probably puts its feelers up like little swords.
I was gaming one night and had one run down my arm.
No.
Were you with me?
No, I was with some others. And I was just sitting there and it's like, oh, hang on a minute. I've just got to go put this spider outside. Why are you grabbing your tits?
She's doing it for comfort. I get it. I get it.
And yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. They are harmless. Like, if threatened, they'll bite you and you might get a little pain in that, localised pain in that area.
Oh, just a
they're
little
not
pain.
poisonous.
Just a little,
Yeah, they're harmless. They are. They will not attack you.
I don't care!
They have no business looking like that and
I
being
don't
that
care!
big, Dougie. That's our point.
He was only about that big.
That's too big.
Jess just turned to me for a
Dougie.
second.
Dougie holding up his big ass hand, talking about it's only this big.
Right? If there is a God and he wanted to give us a preview of hell on Earth, it is Australia. I don't care if your monster beasts are harmless or not. I don't like looking at them. I don't like them existing. Dougie's gonna come over here and he's gonna see a snake and he's gonna be like one of those weirdos who knows a snake by its colors and he's like, oh no, it's harmless. And no, chop its head off with a shovel right now.
Okay, I'm not that bad about snakes.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Yeah,
But
like,
I just
if I
don't
can-
like them. I don't care.
Like, if I can, like, get a good look at the head, I can pretty much tell you if it's poisonous or not. Some danger noodles, some aren't danger noodles.
Yeah,
I've gotten pretty good at
Snakes
killing
are
them.
the devil's. Snakes are the devil's animal. Amber, read the Bible. Thanks.
Yeah. A good sort of welcome to Australia is I went to go have a shower one morning, pulled the curtain back, and there was a snake in my bathtub.
No. See,
It was only about
I'm not
2
gonna-
foot long. It's only a little one.
I'm not gonna kill a snake, but I don't want it in my area. Like, you know what? If you're just existing, just go about your business. I don't care if you're harmless or not. I just don't want to see you. I don't want to deal with you. Go away. I'm not gonna kill him, but I would just rather not be around him.
I've 100% had to learn how to take care of snakes myself because my husband ain't gonna do it.
So you have a wife?
Yep.
My
He will shoot aimlessly at it with his pistol, and that's about it. But that's not how to effectively kill a snake. So, if one comes in the yard and it's dangerous, he'll just say, honey, and I go out and take care of it, and I come back in the house.
I hope there is never a snake in my yard because I've seen one too many videos of these dogs encountering snakes and they pick them up and just start
Just
slinging them around
slash.
and just throwing them. Like, no.
We get a
No.
lot of bobtails, blue tongue lizards, and
Just a lizard, bro.
yeah, they generally if you've got
Right, said lizard.
bobtails around, you're going to have less snakes around. But my problem was my dog loved to play with the blue tongues, so I was quite often trying to save them, get them out of my yard because of my dog.
What do you mean the lizards handle the snakes?
the lizard killed the snake.
He's about to send us
How-
another f***ed up animal.
How big are these lizards?
That's what I mean.
They go in. I'm pretty sure they go in and eat the eggs.
Oh.
Disgusting.
I like how this started out as a paranormal urban legend, and
lovely
now
little
we've
guys.
gone right into the history of Australia, bugs, snakes, you name it.
To be fair, this started as dream
It did.
interpretation.
Welcome to Jard,
And then
everybody.
we took a-
one thing next to the other. Blah, blah, blah.
Then we took a dip into the Grey Lady, and now we are
Okay.
here. I'm
There's-
honestly just
there's a
trying to
blue tongue
pass
lizard.
time
It's
until
pretty
it's time
cute.
to go ghost hunting. Oh, that's weird, but
I can deal without the tongue, but the rest of it actually looks kind of cute.
yeah.
They're generally
So-
probably from tip finger. They can get about that big.
That's pretty cool.
Wait,
Whoa.
So
but I mean, they're harmless to
if
To
they latch on,
people.
they'll hurt. But
I don't mind lizards. I actually this new house is just completely new experiences for me. There are so many lizards here. I've had so many spiders. It just ugh. We never had spiders at our old house. I don't know what that was about. There were never, ever spiders. But there are like, I don't know if it's because the garage or that there's an attic, but there were times when I was scared to open up some of the boxes unpacking because a couple of times I opened a box and
I remember that.
there's a spider. Yeah. You would think I'd be a little desensitized to it because my house before the old house was very old, built in like the 50s, like super old house, and these spiders were the size of the palm of your hand. I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I hadn't dealt with spiders in 6.5 years, and then I get here, and we've got our boxes in the garage to be unpacked, and bring one in, and there's just a spider in the bottom waiting for me. And lizards, that's never been a problem in either of my previous houses, but when it gets warm, we've got lizards that somehow get inside from time to time. And I love lizards. I think they are so cute. I think they're so adorable. They're so small. But I don't like how shifty they are. They are very fast. They move at the drop of, like, just, no.
We don't appreciate
I
unpredictability.
Exactly. I don't appreciate unpredictability. I don't appreciate shiftiness. I don't appreciate something that can outrun me. And I don't want to touch them.
You're all talking about, like, your crazy ass, like, wildlife and whatever. I'm just thinking what we've got in the UK, and I'm like, man, that's depressing. We got nada.
Do you have spiders?
Yes, but nothing like the crazy.
Do you have lizards?
I don't know. We've got a couple. We've got 3 kinds of snakes. I know that much. All of which are harmless.
Here we go with the harmless snakes again. Read the Bible, Ryan.
No, but I'm talking like grass snakes and water snakes. Like, literally will not attack you.
There's never in history been a harmless snake.
My only encounter with a snake, I was fishing, and literally a water snake literally went by my feet and just carried on its way. I was like, all right, cool.
That's an eel.
It was a snake, wasn't it? We don't have eels, I don't think. Here's me trying to educate myself on the UK, and I don't even know it myself. I'm not even gonna.
We have water moccasins, Jess, so that's kind of.
Yeah. We don't say. I mean, it's not water snakes. So you don't have the cute little green lizards that like change color to like camouflage, and they have the throats whenever they breathe.
Chameleons.
It's like a red little bubble under their chin. No. Well, I mean, are they No.
No.
I don't know if they're called chameleon. No.
I wouldn't know whether
Chameleon.
They're just these. There's just these little green little lizards, and usually they typically change from like green to brown, and that's
I wouldn't know whether we do have those or not.
And you can pick them up, and when they open their mouth, you can like put it up against your ear, and they'll clamp down on your ear, and you can wear them like earrings.
Yeah.
I've never done that, but apparently that is a very country boy thing to do around here.
I never got to do them because my dog Brittany, growing up, she did the thing that Jess was kind of talking about earlier with snakes, where she would get a hold of them and then just kind of play with them, and then we would just have dead lizards on the porch, and we're like, oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a friend who his kid liked to do that with the lizards. He'd pick them up and clamp them onto his ear and wear them like. I'm like, you're weird. I could never. First of all, I'm not picking up a lizard. Okay?
I don't have a problem with it. Like, I've picked up quite a few blue tongues.
They're shifty. That's why I won't pick them up, because I don't want to pick one up and then it's like just up my arm. Like, where'd it go?
I remember having to get one out of a shop in Bellague, which is just north of us. I was doing a delivery up there. And, we were chasing it around the shop. And I got hold of him, was carrying him outside. Thankfully, we got outside when it did its whole self to try and throw off the predator.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that stunk so bad.
Nasty.
Like, I'm glad I wasn't holding it over top of me. I was holding behind the head over the body.
Right.
Just so he couldn't turn his head on me. But, yeah, it was like, you you didn't need to do that.
Trying to help you.
Imagine being a person and you're being pursued, and like mid chase, you just like squat in someone's yard, and you're like, I'm gonna take a shit.
real quick.
That'll throw them off, yeah. Throw them off the scent.
No, but Charles loves it when we find lizards at this house. Like I'm like, Charles, you gotta come in here right now and get this lizard. There's a lizard hanging out in the foyer. You gotta come get it. I can't deal. He'll come in there and he'll just pick it up and be like, hey, little buddy, did you get lost? Let's take you back to your home. He just takes it outside and puts it on a tree, and that's that.
Yep.
Or he'll hang out with it. He'll just hold it in his hand and just pet it for a while. Hey, little buddy, what are you doing in here? Sorry, Charles. Charles does not sound like that.
Say, Justin's nothing like that.
But see, like he doesn't
I could
sound
just
like
picture
that.
him doing that, though.
Yeah, I could.
I was about to say he doesn't sound like that, but the context of the conversation that he would have with the lizard is that exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I could just see Charles doing that in his voice.
Yeah.
I moved him to the city, but Charles is still a country boy at heart, so... Oh, God. Well, I think that'll do it. We'll move to video chat for now, because it's almost time to go ghost. Well, we still got about an hour, but it's time to go ghost hunting. And we've gone so long.
We're an hour and 20.
Spoopy shit.
See, Amber cut out
Right.
just then, so all I got was oopy sh.
Yeah, all I got was
Oopy
oopy.
shit.
Yeah, all I got was oopy.
Spoopy shit.
Oopy.
shit.
Okay, well, we will see you guys next
We'll see you next week.
Yep. Catch you later.
Bye.